A priority 910, 2640 Broadway, cross of Scott and Normandy. Hey, 14-hour copy. RP stated that there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but he advised that his name is David and that he is a friend. RP sounded somewhat confused.
So if you listen to the call, it says he doesn't know who the male is, but he identified him as a friend. Now, if I'm a right-wing tribalist, I'm going to miss that discrepancy. I will clearly catch other discrepancies, like the idea of two of them having hammers, like what's going on. The story really sounded strange. How do you get on the property? As a tribalist, these are things that I'm going to quickly point out because that's what we do as humans. You know, we run away from things that we find uncomfortable, and we run, full speed ahead towards things that we want to believe. This guy was clearly a right-winger, and he was pushing a lot of the stuff that a lot of the right-wing have been talking about. That's uncomfortable. That's why you will see almost no one from the right talking about this. You're not going to see, like, if you're a right-winger following, one of these right-wing influencers, you're not going to learn this stuff from them. They're not going to be the ones to say, hey, this guy was talking this COVID stuff and election denier or whatever. Like, they're not going to tell that to you, right? Because those are uncomfortable truths. You don't want to associate this guy with your ideology. However, anything that protects your audience from those uncomfortable truths, you're going to highlight. So if you're following right-wing influencers, they're going to tell you about, oh, he was a liberal and he was, a nudist guy and he's a hippie guy, and anything to disassociate him with the right? So it's a more comfortable narrative. However, again, the blindness comes back when you hear him say he didn't know this person, but he identified him as a friend. That makes no sense. How do you not know your friend? But then also, let's hear the rest of the call.
Over back and copy.
Units code 3 to 2640 Broadway for 14-hour.
Over copy. 50 Rolls code 3.
Everyone 12 advice insufficient units on scene 2640 Broadway. Special call medic 66, location 2640 Broadway.
A priority 910, 2640 Broadway, cross of Scott and Normandy. Hey, 14-hour copy. RP stated that there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but he advised that his name is David and that he is a friend.
He doesn't know who the male is, but he knows his name is David and he's a friend. Ask yourself why there's probably no right-wing influencer that's going to highlight that. Notice I'm highlighting everything. I'm highlighting things that support a narrative that's comfortable for the left, and I highlighted things that are comfortable for narratives on the right. Right? Because I'm just simply telling you the truth. I'm not trying to promote anything. I'm not a propagandist. I'm not caping for the left or caping for the right. The dual hammer thing was strange. The lack of security thing was strange. So I tell you that, right? But then the friend, but I don't know him thing, that's also doesn't make any sense, right? So I tell you that. But if you're a dishonest right-wing influencer, you want to paint a certain narrative that's going to be the most profitable. So people are trying to push things about there's some kind of a gay thing going on, and this guy was his friend, and they were doing some gay stuff, possibly, and, they're trying to cover it up with this whole Nancy thing, right? So they'll push that narrative out because that'll get them the most clicks. But they'll omit or diminish things that point towards an uncomfortable truth. Here's my real-world assessment of the situation. I think there's definitely something shady. I think there's a lot of factors. You have the news media incentivized to be the first, so everyone jumping on the story. A car accident just happened. Some people said a van crashed into a bus. Later on, we find out there was no bus. It crashed into a truck, right? but people in the moment, that's what they thought they saw, that's what they said, and it started spreading around. And that's how you get these narratives. This happens all the time in these kinds of situations. So you have that to consider. So you have misinformation that comes from the media rushing to be first, right? And some details getting mixed up. But then you're dealing with, our politicians, Republicans, Democrats, very corrupt, very dishonest people. They have no integrity whatsoever. So the idea that the husband was doing something that is an uncomfortable truth, and the idea that they might promote some kind of story that's false to cover it up. I mean, you have to be naive not to consider that to be an option. However, you have to also consider that that's something that the right wing would love to be true, because this guy was pushing a lot of stuff they talk about. So they're incentivized to promote these ideas. So I'm just putting it like it is. You can take from it what you will. But you have the left that's incentivized to, this is a crazy right winger, blah, blah, blah. Look what they're doing. These guys are savages, whatever. You get a right wing who want to disassociate him with their ideology, right? And demonize, the Pelosi's, right? I don't want to do either. I want to know what the truth is. I don't trust Pelosi. I don't trust her husband. I wouldn't put it past them to make up a story to cover something else up. However, dishonest actors on the right will take that reality and spin it into something else. Oh, it's an election thing. It's a certain type of phony flag type of thing, right? And this, and then someone on the internet said something about they heard that there was a gay relationship, whatever, and then, oh great, this is nice. They're not going to interrogate it, not investigate it. They're just going to spread it like a wildfire. And everyone's talking, oh, this is that. Did you hear? No, that's not true. It's a gay. They were gay, something or another. I respect the concept of free speech, because if this is some shady thing and there is some kind of cover-up going on, it is the censorship that we saw, like of the Hunter Biden stuff, that would prevent people from knowing about it. And that's bad. Like, politicians should not be able to lie to us and deceive us and get away with it. However, because of the state of social media, people are incentivized to lie. Right? So it's a double-edged sword. If there is a scandal, right, moderation of social media could help the scandal to be suppressed. But it is beneficial for people in social media to invent a scandal or pretend there is a scandal where there is none. You don't actually need a scandal. Scandals are good, but if there is none, invent one, make it up. The point is to get the clicks no matter what. We're a generation that is incentivized to lie and to manufacture things. It's all about clicks and views. So on one hand, it's good to have a free flow of information so that it makes it harder for a government to cover things up. But when you do that, just know that you could end up actually in the same type of situation. In one situation, there's a scandal gets covered up and we don't know about it. So what we believe to be true is not actually true. In another situation, with the free flow of information, people incentivized to lie. So a lie is manufactured and spread. So again, you have people still in the same situation. What you believe is not true. Right? Before you believed the cover story. Right? So the scandal is covered up. But for free information, you will find situations where you believe a lie. Right? Because of the way social media works, there are echo chambers. The left can debunk all they want. The right can debunk all they want. But they're not going to really pierce the echo chambers of the alternative tribes. Right? So whether you have a free flow of information or you have moderation to cover up or prevent misinformation, Either way, because of the way our society is, you're going to have a lot of people in the dark. The idea that free flow of information is going to somehow prevent that is, right? Because here we have a scenario. Let's say this thing is a scandal. Well, right now, Twitter is a free-for-all, so it's not being suppressed. People are putting all kind of stuff. Elon Musk himself put it out there. However, is that going to pierce the left-wing echo chamber any more than the debunking of all the election fraud nonsense has pierced the right-wing echo chamber? The left and liberals wouldn't want to accept that this is some kind of scandal, right? So all the folks on that side are going to be bombarded with their influencers telling them there's nothing to see here. So what have we really achieved? Prior to Elon Musk, this story would be suppressed as misinformation, right? So folks on the other side wouldn't know about it. Post Elon Musk, the story is being suppressed as misinformation. So folks on the left don't necessarily know about it. All we're doing is we're instead of the platform suppressing the information, the echo chambers are doing the suppression. So either way you look at it, echo chambers, social media echo chambers will suppress information that's uncomfortable to the audience that it targets. So until we address the echo chambers, nothing you do really will matter. You can not have moderation, you can have moderation. The echo chambers will always protect people from uncomfortable truths and amplify things that the audience, the target audience, wants to believe to be true. There's a market for people who want to believe the election was stolen, and they will be shielded in that reality. Moderation, no moderation, doesn't matter. The echo chamber will protect them in that bubble. There's a market for people that want to believe that this is some right-wing whatever, and I believe that based on looking at his social media history. But I mean, forget about what I believe. That's a profitable narrative, and therefore there will be an echo chamber that will promote that. So the right wing can post whatever they want on Twitter and whatever websites. They're not going to pierce the left-wing bubble any more than the left can pierce the right-wing bubble. You've got to address the echo chambers. Otherwise, again, what's the difference? Imagine this was the Hunter Biden laptop story. Right? Elon Musk tweeting it out, right wing is all tweeting it out and not getting their posts removed. Your accounts are still up. What's the difference? MSNBC would still protect their audience from that. As long as you have these information silos, right? This is how it's going to be. The right wingers tweeting out about Pelosi, and that would want to tweet out about the laptop. Liberals aren't following you. They can't see you, they can't hear you. They're following liberal influencers that are giving them an alternative narrative. This is Baby Channel. Baby in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.